So I had somebody ask me one time after they tried, I believe it was some pulled pork that I made. He goes, "Can you make a hot dog taste good?" And I saw that as a challenge. So I've experimented with a couple different ways to cook hot dogs or beef franks, Polish sausage, things like that, to really make them better than average, so to speak. And I've come up with a couple things that seem to work. One of these has actually kind of become popular online. They call it like a slot dog, and so actually you cut a pattern into the meat. It actually breaks up the skin, exposes some of the meat on the inside of the hot dog to your fire or whatever you're cooking with, allows some seasoning to get in there. It just allows flavor to penetrate a little bit more than just surface level. And it actually does make the hot dog taste a little bit better, and it looks cool too, and it's fun to do. It's pretty simple. It takes a couple of extra steps if you're cooking hot dogs anyway. It's a fun thing to add, so check it out. Get a couple of these out here. So the trick is to not cut all the way through, but cut just far enough where you can get some of the meat exposed. Anytime I'm cutting where I'm going to be doing similar cuts in a pattern, I just cut some cheese on my knife here, so ignore the spots on that. That's all that is. I like to use my fingertips and my knuckles to kind of guide the blade, if you can see that. That way you can move your fingers back the same distance every time, and it helps you get a nice consistent cut. It's really good if you're chopping vegetables, things like that, but it's just a little quick tip. Pro tip number 97, I believe. And then I turn it the other way and cut at about a 45-degree angle from that first cut. Same thing. Using the knuckle as a guide. You can buy the contraption that's got all the blades in it that you just press down on the hot dog. I don't know, it kind of takes the fun out of it. I like to do it this way, but you can see how that makes that kind of pattern on it. So that'll allow us to get some seasoning. We'll put a barbecue rub on this, and then that just creates some extra edges that can get a little bit charred when you're cooking it, and just start to add some flavor. And again, once it cooks, it kind of splays open a little bit, and it looks cool. So we'll get all these chopped up, and then we'll put some seasoning on them. So I've got these sliced up, as you can see, went most of the way through, but they're still intact. I'm not going to add a ton of seasoning. I'm not going to add a ton of seasoning on these. These are beef franks. They're already pretty flavorful. And that is one thing that's key. You want to start with a good hot dog to begin with. These are good on their own. This is just a trick you can do to make them just a little bit different, a little bit better. I'm going to go ahead and put some of my barbecue rub on these, and just work it down into the slices a little bit. I don't want to over season these, just enough to elevate them a little bit and give them a little extra flavor. So we'll go ahead and get these laid out and start to get some seasoning on them. So just put a little bit on there, and then just kind of letting that work down into the crevices. So we've got the pit barrel cooker fired up. You could do this on your charcoal grill. You could do it on a propane grill. God forbid if you're using a pellet grill, you could even do it on that. But we've got it nice and hot. We just want to get these cooked pretty quickly. So the dogs are done. The grill's still hot, so we're gonna go ahead and toast some of the buns here. I like to spread just a little thin layer of mayonnaise on it before I toast them. Make sure it's not gooped at all. It should be spread pretty thin, and it should go all the way to the edge. You don't want any burnt edges on your bun here. So I'm just gonna take that and lay it face down right over the grate and give it a second to toast. So we'll put a few of those down here. See, that's probably a little too much mayo on that one, but we'll run with it. So we got the bun toasted. Let's get the dog on there. Oh yeah, look at that. Beautiful. Put some mustard on there. Not a huge ketchup fan, but we'll put a little bit on there if it cooperates. There you go. I'll be frank with you. This beef frank's pretty dang good. So there you go, guys. That's one way to cook a hot dog. Turned out pretty good. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.